Seeing ECB's Draghi says does not want excessively prolonged deleveraging. Says ECB will counter any material risk to inflation expectations, saying bank deleveraging helps transmission of low ECB rates, and the ECB guidance lowers real rate spreads and curbs the euro. Draghi says the euro exchange rate is becoming increasingly relevant in our assessment of price stability. Says real interest rate spread between Eurozone and the rest of the world will probably fall, putting down pressure on the exchange rate. So again, that's Draghi saying real interest rate spread between the Eurozone and the rest of the world will probably fall, putting downward pressure on the exchange rate. Says risks of deflation are quite limited, but the longer inflation remains low, the higher the probability of such risks emerging. The ECB has been preparing additional non-standard measures to guard against deflation, stands ready to take further decisive action if needed. Any material risk of inflation expectations becoming unanchored will be countered with additional monetary policy measures. And firmly reiterated its forward guidance to keep key rates at present or lower levels for an extended period of time. Forward guidance creates de facto loosening of policy stance. Initial reaction though in the currency market did see a pop lower here in euro dollar, roughly around 24 pips or so. On the exchange rate, Draghi said that the rate is becoming increasingly relevant in our assessment of price stability, and that real interest rate spread between Eurozone and the rest of the world will probably fall, putting downward pressure on the exchange rate. In addition to the direct exchange comments, again, Draghi also noting here, have been preparing additional non-standard measures to guard against deflation, stands ready to take further decisive action if needed. But that comment is pretty similar to what we heard from the press conference most recently. Although the euro currency under a bit of pressure on those Draghi comments, the actual Bund future was unmoved. The Bund still remain largely unmoved. The euro currency is still under a bit of pressure here. As mentioned before, one of the first times in a long time we've heard Draghi explicitly talking about the euro exchange rate itself here. Again, the fact that he said that real interest rates spread between Eurozone and the rest of the world will probably fall, and that would put downward pressure on the exchange rate, seems to be taking the focus here in these latest movements in the euro currency. Again, these comments were unscheduled in terms of this text that dropped down. Again, his initial speech in Vienna began some 45-50 minutes ago.